wrong. And welcome to the Body of the Kirk. Welcome to the Theatre of the Mind. Welcome to Live 268. Won't be so long. Be about February time when we'll be doing Live 300. Blimey. So, welcome. A bit of an odd Body of the Kirk this evening. I will get into parish notes in a moment, but the reason why I've reverted back to 7:30 start is because I just didn't feel that 8 o'clock was working for some unknown reason. I was discombobulated. People didn't know. But it's good to see that the regulars are in the Body of the Kirk. I've been checking out the parish notes. Let me just, So I've got everything sorted out. So Neil Cunningham made me roar with laughter. Yeah, wrong, and Neil. It says, good evening, Adrian, and everyone in the wrongregation. If I can say it, Neil, wrongregation. Hang on. Wrongregation. I'll have to practice that, but it did make me laugh. And I am going to use it. Thank you, Neil. I hope everyone had a spiffing weekend. The Unite Union will vote to cut ties with Labour as their biggest donor. It will spell the end of them, not unite. Labour. I am going to kind of give you an update because Starmer's been yab this afternoon. Obviously, because Shabbat was yesterday, so he's had to be with the missus and the kids yesterday. He's working on a Sunday. And yes, I am going for the X-ray this week before you start. Oh, that's hot. In the words of the great Chinese philosopher, bugger me. Evening, young Terry. Des Ashton says, good afternoon. All just making sure my notification bell is switched on. I don't know whether you'll be watching a day, It's a Wonderful Life, because when a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. So hopefully, if you've got your little notification bell on, Des, an angel will get its wings. David Graham says, evening, dudes. So Australia leading England 2-0 in the Ashes. I know. I did turn my arm over in my youth. I was shite with a bat. But I did turn my arm over. My best bowling figures, 4 for 4 off 2 overs. No, 5 for 4 off 2 overs. Don't know what I was on. It was bloody strong coffee, I'll tell you. Hang on a second. It's because the adrenaline has hit my lungs, according to my doctor. It'll settle down. It's an age thing, I swear. Just checking. Thank you, David Graham. I'm a celebrity final tonight. Oh, dear Lord. I was going to say something about that. I don't know whether this is not the right way around. But the headline on the Sun on Sunday, I was going to mention it tonight. And it's Jack Osborne, an exclusive. And he's saying, even Ozzy wouldn't have eaten jungle grub. No, Jack, that's correct. He'd have snorted it. Dear Lord. I mean, oh, well, anyway. It's also the final of the UK Championship snooker. Just a normal weekend. Yeah, everybody's glued to their telly. By the way, our Sheffield United supporter, Sandra, I think she's leaping with joy. We'll find that out in a minute. She'll be happy her side won 4-0 yesterday. Shame about Sunderland, but there you go. Sunderland v Newcastle next Sunday afternoon. Correct. Stadium of Light. I will not be disturbed under any circumstances because Man City, it was always going to be a tough match. And we didn't turn up. We were bad. We were awful. But do you know something? Up until this point, 23 points, not to be sniffed at. And I'm sure the players will have been told there's only 2 matches that we care about. One at the Stadium of Light, one at St James Park. The Skunks. That's all. Somebody said to me earlier today, oh, it's only footy, Adrian. You can hide away and shite. I don't want to speak to you until after the match next Sunday. So, welcome so far, David Graham and young Terry and Neil and Des. Welcome to the Body of the Kirk. Terry says, yeah, it's a real shame about Sunderland. Just the one match. Just the one match. Blame the City Council. Corrupt as fuck. I agree with you, Terry. And also littered with paedophiles. And they can't sue me. Well, they'll try to, but sadly, I know. Jailed the fucker for 35 years. Sunderland councillor, Adrian. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. There's been other paedophiles outed in Sunderland Council. Not a first. Seemingly, it's always the Labour Party. Wonder why that is. No, I won't go ranty. I'm just going to avoid it now, but I'm with you, Terry. Des says, Mrs. Des would like to request that OCD Poltergeist comes and stays with us for a few days. Oh, are you enjoying that one, Des? If you haven't already, it's it's kind of like a little ghostly Christmas ghostly advent calendar. So every day there's a new little just doing it because it's advent. I can't give you chocolates. Blimey, people will be saying, oh, you're giving us type 2 diabetes, Adrian. Well, I'll put the willies up you and you can have your ghost stories. Just don't scream too loud, otherwise the neighbours will be like, is that bloody Adrian Allen at it again? So I do hope, Des, that you and the Mrs. Des were suitably entertained. I'm trying to think where I am. The one, was it 7 today? 8 tomorrow. 8. I'm going to put it up at midnight. So I'm going to start putting them up sort of midnight so they get a full 24 hours. And again, just to see when people are watching. And 8 is proper. The OCD Poltergeist was a bit of a rip snorter. It was entertaining, is all I'm going to say. But we're into number 8, and I promise you, if you make it all the way to Christmas Eve, the ghost story on Christmas Eve is proper. But most people are watching it sort of in the evening when it's dark. If you're not into ghostly stories, that's fine. Because being young, I was scared. I had the bejesus scared out of me. Some of the people that live in the northeast will know. The Card Lad, Hilton Castle. Card Lad. Oi. I mean, I was only little, but it scared the bejesus out of me. And now, it's quintessentially English. So 8, enjoy it. It goes up at midnight tonight. So yeah, I see you. Yes, it's 7:30. I've thankfully you were here. I'm just, as I said last week, just trying a few things out in December because there's new stuff coming, and I'm kind of layering things. So there's lots of different things coming to the channel. I'm not going to say thank you. Oh, blimey, I missed that one. Hang on a second. I just want to say thank you to Neil. Thank you, Neil. Really appreciate your support as ever. Always. So thank you. Just trying a few things out, looking at where people are watching, how they're watching, just looking at the data for the channel and seeing where we can go with things and what I want to do. There's going to be more interviews. Absolutely, categorically, more interviews. I enjoy doing them and I want to get stories. And, some people said, oh, will you interview me? Yeah, of course, if you've got stories, we can pre-record them and put them up. But I'm just, it doesn't matter whether it's a celeb or whether it's a big name or whether it's anything else. I just want people that have stories because that was what my phone-ins, my late-night phone-ins were all about. So it's just around stories. If you've got a story, I'm happy to tell it. But rather, I'm happy for you to tell it. I'm just a conduit through which you can... let me just sort this out so I don't have to stretch too much. PT Ham, welcome to the Body of the Kirk, PT Ham. If I've missed anyone, Paulie Galtieri. Paulie Galtieri. Yeah, we're aware of this. The Labour Party, wasn't it... who was the member of the Labour Party that tried to kind of normalise the paedophile information exchange? I can say it because there's no adverts on this. If there was adverts, I'd get my derriere tapped very likely. The paedophile information exchange, yeah, Paulie, it's always in the background because they try to make paedophilia. The Labour Party, or members of it, try to make it acceptable and mainstream. Never going to work. Neil Cunningham says, as the great Bill Shankly said, football is not a matter of life or death. It's much more important than that. And I was trying to think of Bill Shankly's quote earlier to sort of, it's the old Churchill quote. Sir, you're drunk. And Churchill replies, Madam, you're ugly, and I'll be sober in the morning. So I tried to... Thank you, Neil, now that I know it's in my head. Is it midnight tonight or Sunday you're putting it up? Hey? It is Sunday today. Tell you what you're doing, man. Yeah, Des says, keep your willies to yourself. Talking ghosts, Des. Ghosts. The Rev wants to know if you've booked a venue for the Taylor Swift tribute. It starts with Hadaway. Sir Andrew James. Yeah, wrong. And what was I going to say? No, midnight. It's today, Sunday. I am just checking because sometimes I think all the days roll into one. I'm kind of 24/7 doing this. So it's midnight tonight, Sunday, midnight. It's at 12 a.m. I better check when I finish, though. PT Ham, evening, Adrian, and all you wrong-uns. Nice to be here. Nice to hear your stories. Thank you, PT Ham. Hope you're enjoying them. It's 8 at midnight tonight, 8 of 24, and they're every day. They're daily. Interview Cliff and ask him why he likes Necker Island so much. We'll do that. He's got his own island. Tony Blair stayed there. Miranda. What do you mean, who's Miranda? Try Charles Linton, Bow Street Magistrates. Hang on, So Rebel, what are you talking about? Was it Margaret Watsits, Adrian? I've no idea. She'd probably have orange hair if she's eating Watsits. Growler. Should we talk about Growler? It's a bit early in the day to be going for a ginger growler. I mean, it is the Lord's Day after all. The army say the big hand has to move away from the straight up. 1 minute after midnight then. Better still, include me and I will ask the fecker, says Les Griffiths. Okay, he'll never come on here. No, he knows. I finally got a chance to watch the ghost story videos, Rev. Been busy Christmas shopping the last few weeks. Brilliant, Stuart. You enjoy them. They're there. There's 24 of them, and I promise you, Christmas Eve. I'm thinking about doing something because Christmas Day is a funny old day, and I'm going to reference sort of Christmas this evening because we're in December. It's just over 2 weeks away, and tonight I want to balance the kind of serious stuff because we're going to go George Orwellian route. We're going to go Labour Party. We're going to go... It's all kicking off in America, let me tell you. So we've got some USA quickies. I mean, at Donald Trump's age, I'm sure that's all he can manage. But we've got some American quickies tonight to inform you. Hang on a second. I see you. What you said now, man. Wish me I'd never asked. Hi, Adrian. I hope you're well. Thank you, Mike. Still see you have your cough. I know. Do you know... Psychosomatic. I shall drink my hibiscus. So, Rebel, I know you were on about the... yeah, of course. Comic Mania, RAF saved your bacon. Depends which site they're on. Are you doing a Christmas tree? Hang on a second. Are you doing a Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve show as well? Triffid spores cause coughing, says Les Griffiths. Have you seen that? It was only about this tall when I started. 3 years later, bugger me, it's nearly through the roof. Technical term, obviously, that we use in radio. Yeah, it could be shedding, but I wonder. Because I was away on a week on Friday and out of the house in fresh air near seaside and didn't cough once. Not once. So I think you're all correct. So What the bloody hell word is that, Terry Wookfit? So, evening all, Nicky Watson's in the Body of the Kirk. Welcome to the Body of the Kirk. Welcome to the Body of the Kirk. Live 268. Adrian Allen's Theatre of the Mind. We've got lots to decode this evening. And one for yes, two for no. Should the Rev play some Ralph Vaughan Williams on the cello on Christmas Eve? Andrew, no, you're wrong. Louise Hampson's in the Body of the Kirk. Evening all, yeah, wrong. Neil Cunningham has a magnificent erection, seemingly, up in the loft where it's staying. Your Christmas tree. Right, lovely, Neil. And I see you. The wife's chest is shedding too. Les Griffiths. And, right. Just proves I'm not AI. This is Terry, of course. AI may spout some shite, but never spells incorrectly. Cleaning. Gribbo's in the Body of the Kirk, as is Reg D. Reg, we're not voting yet, man. Hang on a second. It might be a vote. No, don't get your cello out. And so what are we going to talk about this evening? Right. And I want tonight to be quite interactive. I've got a few questions for you. I was planning on doing a little more than 90 minutes, but I'm not too sure. So I want to make you aware that at midnight tonight, I've uploaded... I've told you about my radio career, and there are, in that radio career, I mean, I've been doing radio technically since 1979, so it's a fair old time, and I lived a very, very privileged life doing radio, and there are some things that I always keep with me, as in the privilege of presenting radio. But tonight at midnight, I'm going to upload something that, for me, I could barely. I was choking back tears. Thankfully, you can close the microphone. But it's so tonight at midnight. It is 42 minutes of Father Christmas speaking with children that are literally amazed. I'm not going to tell you anything in the background. It is if you are driving in the car, or you normally would have a live or something in the background playing while you're doing, I don't know, maybe a jigsaw, maybe some paperwork or something, or even when you take the dogs for a walk first thing in the morning. And if you're taking the dogs for a walk right now and you're listening on playback, then this is just a little 42-minute thing. And the kids are fantastic. They're proper children. They're all 5, 6, 7 years old. The adults, I'll tell you this, across the East Midlands, the adults were all choked. The parents, they're all, because the kids are in wonderment. They're not, they're young enough to still be full of wonder. And they're old enough to know that they're on the phone to the big lad in the red suit. And obviously, there are those cynical old tarts that go, oh, that was Coca-Cola that, yeah, we get all that. It was green originally. We get all that. It's a bit like De Beers inventing the engagement ring so they could sell more diamonds. I get all that. Mind you, the Americans, holidays are coming, you bunch of fucking heathens. It's a Christian holiday. Jesus was born in a manger, in immaculate conception. Poor Joseph didn't even get it. Had to deal with babies. Oh, my Lord. Anyway, so it's just the magic and wonderment of these children that every single time that I hear it, and I was presenting it. So it's just beautiful, 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 beautiful. So if that's the kind of thing that will get you in the Christmas spirit, and I'm not talking about the bottle that you've kept in the back of the cupboard for the whole of 2025, I'm talking about just, I mean, look, I know that we've got a proper congregation of cynical old tarts, proper. But, sometimes it's just that magic, that wonderment, that just the little ones, man. It's magical, 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 magical. So for me, please watch it. I would like to think that you would enjoy it. It's from a lost-ish archive. And also the Advent ghost stories, they're going to be daily. So you're getting, we're layering it and in readiness for 2026. We're going to talk about the elephant in the room tonight, which is, I don't know how to tackle this because as well as the light and frothy stuff, as well as the Trump and America and taking the Mickey and laughing at Starmer and Rayner and all the inept Labour harridans, for want of a better word. The elephant in the room tonight, we will try and tackle, because as the data comes out, and I did mention this on Wednesday, as the data comes out, the jibber jabber for the Charlie 19, and I'm still very nervous about mentioning this. And I look, I'm a professional communicator. I know how to make me gob go. But this is, I've said to you many times, and I don't particularly want to start with this because I want to sense check you and the body of the Kirk before I get into the things I want to talk about. But it's an extraordinary circumstance. And I've thought about this all day, and I'm not finding the words easily. I've said that I don't judge anyone for taking the jibber jabber. How are we to know? We were all trying to do our best. We were all trying to do the right thing by each other, by our communities, by our families. Families are still split, where people were saying, you must, you must, you must. And others were like, no, I shouldn't, I shouldn't, I shouldn't. But I'm just hearing stories now. And friends are passing with turbo cancers. And when I was little, there was a lad on my estate who had leukemia, and that was really rare. It was a rare form of the big C. And now I'm hearing kids and leukemia. And I know that some people will be saying, oh, but the jibber jabber, Adrian, we didn't know. Some people were trying to tell you. But as I say, we have free will, and there's accountability from what has happened and what has gone on. But I think where we are now, and I will continue with this theme, I know it's December and I know we're going towards Christmas, but this is, in my view, crimes against humanity. And I am going to talk about Fauci and Trump and what's going on in America with RFK. I'm going to give you some background around that, but I'm struggling because there are good people that are suffering. There are good people who try to do the best by everyone and find themselves in extraordinary situations. I'm going to a funeral later on in the week. We had a friend pass from the big C, and I always relate things to my youth. Council estate boy, don't care about my background, but it was like 1 in 10. They're saying it will get more and more and more. And Big Pharma, in my view, is just evil, abjectly evil. It's all about the profit. We're just cash cows. But some people are moving on to the next place. And I would rather that they stayed here because they're good people, good hearts, good principles, good values. And now we've got this. It's a horrible place to be in. Because on the one hand, you've got people trying to do the best by everybody else. And then you've got Big Pharma. I mean, I know they go, oh, Big Pharma, big tech, big this, big everything. But it's abjectly evil. When you've got a company, all of them said, and this is off the top of my head, all of them said, 95% effective, you won't get it. 95%. And, I will wear my heart on my sleeve and say, I didn't take the jibber jabber. I didn't. I knew there was a game afoot. I didn't. And I was told, you're going to kill people. Remember all of the pressure, all the coercion, you can have, like the kids, the teenagers, do you want a free kebab? Take the jibber jabber, have a free kebab. And then all the other teenagers were told, if you want to get into nightclubs, you've got to have a jibber jabber. And all the kids just wanted a party. So, I'm going to live forever, me. I'll have the jibber jabber. Isn't turning out that great. And it's all in the name of profit. And yet, the medical fraternity have not come out and spoken against it. Why is that then? Evil. All in the name of profit. All in the name of money. And I'm not, as I say, I'm not sure I've got the words to eloquate this, to speak of this effectively. But it's the elephant in the room. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody dares, because we've had this, we've had our heads pushed down. You're not allowed to, you're not allowed to, you're not allowed to. It's illegal, it's illegal, it's illegal. It's not illegal. Why can't we as a community, I'm not talking about the body of the Kirk, I'm talking about life in general. Why can't we talk about things that actually matter to us? Not these inept intellectual pygmies in the Pink Palace in London, Ozempic Palace. We know they're corrupt. We know they're inept. We know that the political system is over and done with. It's finished. Done. So over the next few weeks and into 2026, we will be talking about the elephant in the room. It will be a continual theme. So a quick temperature check of the body of the Kirk. Yes, I know Christmas is only just over 2 weeks away. So just to kind of get or feel where we are, the zeitgeist, type 1 if you're feeling it, as in Christmas. 2 if you're emotionally opting out. And type send help if you've already bought gifts you can't afford. So are you feeling Christmas? Are you feeling it? Is it not close enough yet? That's 1, yes. 2, no, if you're emotionally opting out. Let me just have a quick look. Les Griffiths, 1.5. He's neither Arthur nor Martha. Billy Solix, 2. 3. Who was that? Mumpsy Daisy, not really bothered. Karen, no. Simon Simons, no. God, blimey, a bunch of cynical old tarts. Everybody's like, no. Not that I want you to be kind of, it's that false bonhomie going on around Christmas. It's that, oh, hello, Merry Christmas. Oh, why don't you just go off? I mean, I would never be that disingenuous, but and when I went to the supermarket today, holy Jesus. I mean, no wonder we're turning into the roly-polies or the Teletubbies. I've seen people with 2 trolleys walking out, absolutely ram-packed. And I'm thinking, how are you going to eat that in the 2 weeks before you get to Christmas? You'll be back with another 3 trolleys, filling that up. You fat tart. Tom Harney says 2, it will be just me and the cat this year. Mike says 3, I hate it, always have. Oh, Amalia. Amalia loves a bit of Christmas. Christmas TV, avoid. That's where I got the idea from, Billy Solix, because I was looking at the kind of the TV for Christmas. And it really is shite. I mean, what's it, Mrs. Brown's Boys? Has he been on Ozempic? The bloke that plays the woman. Mrs. Brown Staines. How did they afford it? 2 trolley loads. I don't know. Maybe they were shoplifting, Nicky, and and maybe the staff were like, "Oh, we're not going to stop them." Stuart says, "My parents said our local supermarket was very busy. People had 2 trolleys full of stuff." I know. I mean, David Graham says Christmas TV Times is out on Tuesday. It's in the papers today. In the Sundays. Oh, Brendan O'Carroll. Thank you, Stuart. So he's looking a bit slimmer, and it's kind of old end of the pier humour. but that's the best. They've got. Did I keep it out? I looked at it, and what I was looking at was Call the Midwife. What kind of shite's that? So and there was other stuff I was thinking. So they're putting the films on at like 10 o'clock, and I think one of the Christmas staples, one of the best Christmas films, is on like at 1 o'clock in the morning. And I was thinking, who the bloody hell are they putting it there so people will record it so they can watch it during the day the following day? But if they're going to be that organised, they'll just buy the DVD and not watch the telly. I've loads of old TV shows on DVD, so I'll watch some of them over Christmas. Good idea, Matt. My Christmas exhaustion began in October, says Des. Amalia, yes, I do it, but send help. We'll send help, Amalia. We'll send a Christmas hamper or something. Die Hard, best Christmas movie ever. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers. Christmas is a lot of fuss for one day, followed by 5 days of food you'll never eat. Endure the rest during the rest of the year. So, having a conversation today, it was like, so do we buy and then do we have leftovers on Christmas Day? Do we have it on Christmas Eve? Do we make sandwiches or curry or? And the other thing that I don't understand, it's the same with Thanksgiving in America. Turkey. When was the last time you ate a piece of succulent turkey, apart or other than in a curry? Because my dad was a bit of a bon vivant. He would like, right, I'm gonna make this, so it blows your head off, and invariably it did, and me backside. So turkey. Why? I literally don't get it. Nobody's been able to tell me. Or Stuart says, my sister is trying to talk my parents into getting a chicken for Christmas because she hates turkey and they're having none of it. Well, my personal best Christmas meal ever was a Chinese takeaway. There was about 12 or 13 of us all sitting around the table, and the host, female host, said, look, I'm not going through all the stress and hassle. Hands up, those who want a Chinese takeaway. Everybody. So we were like, brilliant. No turkey. Well, you can if you get it from the takeaway. But the best Christmas Day dinner was a Chinese takeaway. Fantastic. And the Chinese takeaway made a shit ton of money. They stayed open because they were Chinese. God, now, it's not their Christmas Day. It's not their New Year. And they had sittings. So you had to order a couple of weeks ahead. And they had varying sittings from, I think it was from about 11 o'clock all the way through to 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Literally, they would have been straight down the casino to gamble that away. That's what the Chinese do. They're big gamblers. Neil Cunningham, turkey is drier than Sister Mary's hood. She told me. It's a lot of fuss for one day, and it starts in September. I know, Bethany, I know. We started getting a Chinese on Christmas Eve. Nice. I think, poor turkeys. I just hate to think that there's those little gobblers away with it. And they don't realise that they're going to get necked. And then frozen, bless them. Could have worn a jacket. Might have either pigeon or seagull, depends what I catch. Oh, seagulls, honestly, I'm with you, Terry. Leg of lamb, Christmas Day. Nice, Gribbo. Christmas Day for Mrs. Wolf. And I, spaghetti bolognese on the 25th, Indian takeaway on Boxing Day, pizza day after. Right, everybody around to Bad Wolf Project's house. Goose is nice. Comic Mania, you want to be goosed on Christmas Day. Albert Metcalf, the boat people have had them all. That'll be the swans. The swans are actually the crowns. They belong to the crown. They belong to the monarch. They belong to the king. You can't, because there's loads of swans, but no, they're only for the king. Marley Grassy just popping out. All right, Amalia. 26 quid for a full goose in Lidl. No way. Have you seen those? They kind of came into fashion and out of fashion. It was like 5 birds stuffed into one. Been to those parties before. Chuck me keys in the centre. So I can't remember what it was. It was a pigeon, as Terry says, or something, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger to a turkey, included a chicken, included other. And everybody's, oh, I'm having a 5-bird roast. Oh, you mucky tart, are you really? Hope she doesn't get pregnant. Did you hear Sister Mary just there? Gobble, gobble, gobble. Oh, I say, says Stuart. She did tell me she was a bit of a gobbler. But I said, no, Sister Mary, one is not having turkey Christmas Day. Not in this particular parish, because it's it's unacceptable on many different levels. 5 birds all at once. Nice, says Comic Mania. Yeah, he even got it in Lidl or Aldi. But then everybody stopped and went back to anything but turkey. So we're not turkeyist on the show. But I'll ask you, before we get in, Hewell Bennett. Hang on, what's that? Soul Rebel, what are you saying? Oh, Mum, back in the day, carried turkey, dropped it in the street. Then we had to have chicken and chips in the end, back in the day. Peter ham, chicken and chips works for me on every level. Christmas Day on the platform was a royal Galanine multi-bird boned and rolled. It's a comedy opening, Des. Boned and rolled. Do you want to explain that? My dad said to my sister, if she wants a Christmas chicken, he'll take her to KFC. Ooh, brutal family bants, Stuart. And I'll be dropping my Yuletide log. I can't eat one, Neil. I can't, just because of the name. Neil says, I'll be dropping my Yuletide log at 3 p.m. on the 25th, so don't have to listen to Charles' last ever Christmas message. Ooh, tough audience tonight, Neil. Why do people buy dates at Christmas? Yeah, you can buy them during the summer. I've been in Israel and just kind of walked around the markets and I ate them. Maybe we're just sheep. Who was it that said that? I think it was Les Griffiths. I don't know, Les. At least the type 2 diabetic sufferers can eat dates and not spike their blood sugar, hopefully. Did anyone watch Artemis 81 for 3 hours on Christmas? No. I don't even know what you're talking about, Andrew. Are you being mucky again? Les, because that's what baby Jesus was given. Was he? Oh, we can get into the 3 wise men or the 3 magi, or they were all astrologers, and we can get into all of that. Look, Mary, Immaculate Conception. Joseph didn't get any. And it was only when I grew up and matured that I realised that Joseph didn't get any. And he helped her to Bethlehem on a donkey. Poor bloke. Brussels sprouts. You'll have some hell of a Christmas log, Stuart. They thought they would treat themselves, madman. And my Dan used to bone, roll, and stuff turkeys. He was a butcher. Karina, what can I say? You're making me blush. Best thing about Christmas is the figgy, duffy, putty thingy. Right. I'm going to ask you a question now, because I don't want to kind of split this and come back to it. What is the one thing that makes Christmas Christmas? Would it be favourite movie? Would it be food? Would it be people? Would it be, if you're mercenary, the presents? So what is the one thing that makes Christmas Christmas? What? Hang on a second. I haven't given you... Oi, you're wrong. I'm not giving you options. I want you to be human. Des Ashton says, kiddies. That's what Prince Andrew said. So, Rebel, the older I get, I started liking sprouts, smoked bacon. I'm going wild in me dotage, says Soul Rebel. The Bad Wolf Project, the end. My gran used to pluck turkeys. Did she really, Peter? I'm not a pheasant plucker, but I'm a pheasant plucker son. Family get-together for Ray Norton. The one thing, the end, says Comic Mania. I think they're all along the same lines. Napoleon blown apart, Quality Street. That's it. Oh, and while you're voting and telling me the one thing that makes Christmas Christmas, while I was sort of wandering around in the zombie apocalypse is the only way to describe it. Have you seen how much those thieving bastards, and it's a technical term, but those thieving bar stewards are trying to charge us for chocolate? I mean, there was Toblerone. If you know, you know. They're charging like £6 for a bar of Toblerone, and then Quality Street and roses and stuff. They're for 550 grams. Now they can stop all this gram malarkey. what's that? Half a kilo, a pound. So they're charging like £7 and £8 for a tin of chocolates that by the time you've started, you've finished. It doesn't even last the whole of Christmas Day. So Rebel, The Great Escape. Don't get me on about the price of chocolate, thieving bastards. Then New Year, being nice to people you cannot stand. The Bad Wolf Project. Cadbury chocolate tastes like shite these days. I know this, because they're using different ingredients and telling us it's still the same. Louise Hampson, listening to my radio and meeting friends. Lovely. Christmas pudding with double cream. Simon's, nice. It's not even real chocolate anymore, says Napoleon Bonaparte. Quality Street's my favourite, but I prefer the orange and the strawberry ones. Bar humbug, says Lewis. Giving gifts, says Karina. That's classy, Karina. World's Strongest Man, Don Wigley. Yeah, it's on again this year. Definitely on, because I've checked. I think it's New Year. It's not Christmas, it's New Year. But, Terry Wookford. Bottle of port, followed by a bottle of gin, followed by singing songs, and then a session of community projectile vomiting. And you won't even remember it the next day. You'll just have a banging bad head. Toffee Penny. Nice, Lewis. Man bought me a Toblerone a few weeks ago, and I couldn't get your gag out of my head. You utter wrong, and it's my favourite. But was it full Booner, or was it white chocolate? Because seemingly white chocolate's better for you. I'm making that up. It's not. Scrooge is my favourite thing on telly. Oh, Comic Mania. Oi, 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 oi. But is it the Muppets Christmas Carol with Scrooge? And my name's Michael Caine. Les Griffiths, couldn't agree more. Blame the Yanks who took it over, says Bethany. Garen Davis, the 70s and the 80s Christmas. Comic Mania, Scrooge is my favourite thing on telly. I see agrees. It's a Wonderful Life, superb. As I referenced earlier, Tom, it's when you hear a bell, that's an angel getting its wings. So, all I'm going to say is, welcome to the body of the cook, you tinsel warriors, you seasonal rebels, and the financially stressed. All in the same pews, all in the Starmers. Don't forget your pals cushions, because the pews get mighty cold at this time of the year. So I always think Christmas is the only time of year where the world pretends to slow down whilst secretly speeding up. If the supermarkets were anything to go by today, it literally is a zombie apocalypse. We're meant to feel joy, nostalgia, forgiveness, magic on a schedule. So whether you love it, dread it, or just tolerate it, tonight, I just want to say to you, you're not watching alone. The lights are on, the congregation is in, and yes, even the stubborn ones among you are welcome. Even the cynical old tarts are welcome into the body of the cook, to the theatre of the mind. Hang on, Billy Sollocks. Toffee Penny, be warned. Is that because they'll drag your teeth out or your fillings out? I want to invite a local homeless person for Christmas dinner, but the wife is a bit frightened. Les. Don't know whether that's a great idea. So, tonight we're going to talk about Lando Norris, obviously. We're going to talk about the best story this week. We're going to talk about that raccoon who got absolutely pawless. See what I did there? Legless, pawless. It's just the best story. Not necessarily a December story or a Christmas story. They're just a raccoon that got absolutely buckled on whiskey. What a boy. Can you imagine? Mrs. Raccoon, he goes home and says, where have you been? Oh, what do you mean, man? Where have you been? You've been gone for 2 days. Did you bring any food back for the kids? Oh, no. Hang on a second. Can I smell whiskey on your breath? No, leave it alone, man, pet. Leave it. I'm hungover. What do you mean hungover? What's that? Well, I don't know. I kind of fell through this skylight and, well, I started drinking this thing that was on the floor. Oh, I kind of licked it up. I didn't want to waste it. Oh, right. So you've been out on the lash, leaving us here to tend the fort. And you've got absolutely Paulus drunk. Mrs. Raccoon wasn't best happy with him. He's managed to stagger his way back home. You're not sleeping here. You can go and sleep in that other forest. You can bugger off. Me and the kids, we're starving, and you've been out on the lash. Whiskey! Whiskey! I can smell it on your bloody breath, you wrong un. Bugger off. Get into that other forest. And don't come back until you've brought some food. Not drink, food. Can you imagine Mrs. Raccoon having a go at him? That's just the best story of the week. Because he'll have gotten it tight. Where have you been, you dirty stop out? 2 days you've been gone, and you thought you'd just sashay back in here with nout. No food for the kids, nothing. I thought you'd been to the woods for some food in a shed. You've come back stinging of whiskey. Brilliant. Mind you, because she could smell the whiskey on his breath, she couldn't have said, "Where have you been? That dirty raccoon slut in the next valley." Darling, I just fell through a skylight and got absolutely blooted. Wonderful. My Tesco shares are ready to go sky high. I wonder why, says Comic Mania. Well, watch out for 2026. Gene Psychic, welcome to the Body of the Cook. Hello. Just popping in to say hello. And that things can only get better. Things. Catch up later. Got a load of stuff shopping to put away. You haven't been to supermarket as well, have you, Gene? God blimey. Zombie apocalypse. So we're talking about that. About Christmas. And can I just finish off my point about the chocolate? I'm kind of erring away from supermarkets now because the thieving bar stewards, shrinkflation. I know it's cold outside, but I didn't realise it could shrink that much down to like nout. Toblerone, you need a second mortgage. Tubs of sweets, they used to last until the new year, even when you lived with a family of gannets who would just it'd still be going New Year's Day. Now, it doesn't last till Boxing Day. Chocolates don't last now. Doesn't matter how quick you gobble them up. We're back to Sister Mary gobbling again. So Christmas gobbling. No the wonder Father Christmas emptied his sack all over the living room. That poor bugger, he gets mince pies and carrots and everybody else is woof, 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 woof. But I hear that Father Christmas has gone on Ozempic just to make sure he can fit down the chimney this year. Celebrations, Quality Street, Heroes, Cadbury's Roses. Look, I'm old enough to remember Norman Vaughan. Roses grow on you. I mean, they're chocolate, Norman. He was a comedian from the kind of 60s. I was only young, maybe 70s. But whatever happened to ounces and pounds? America's got it. We haven't because of those heathens over in the European continent. Metric versus imperial. Let's have imperial. It's got imperial, like soap, as in, Roman imperial. And it's America versus Europe. Let's just tell them, oi, how do we end shite? Just, we don't want 550 grams. We don't even know what that is. I don't. I want ounces and pounds so I can have a reference. Thank you very much. Jean says, I went to a Christmas craft market, mould in Wales. Not bad prices and authentically local. Do you know, Jean, I was going to talk about, and I am going to talk about this later during the live, about how the farmers are now not making any money from the supermarkets. And I saw one farmer, and there are lots of them nationwide. One farmer saying, if you can pitch up, I think he was over Cheshire way. If you can pitch up, all of this has to go. All of this has to go today. I'm not going to make any money from it. So rather than it just go to waste, there's tons of it. Turn up, take it. Free, take it. So people were turning up with their big bags and their wheelbarrows and taking potatoes and all of the usual vegetables from this time of the year. And then he posted another video saying, right, all gone. All gone. Gene Sankey, $17.99. What was that for? Oh, I got my turkey butterball, Farm Foods, $17.99. Bloody hell. That's not bad. Box of Black Magic chocolates, Matthew Whedon. Remember, Black Magic, no, it wasn't. What was the guy, the superstar that used to be able to do, was it Black Magic? The adverts from the 70s. Oh, it was Milk Tray. The man from Milk Tray. Remember that? He was better than James Bond. And look, if you took a box of milk tray, especially if I'd dropped a spherical and I had to go begging to my mother a box of milk tray. Oh, darling, thank you. You're my number one son. What do you mean, number one? I'm the only one. You're wrong. Bethany, apparently we're supposed to call Christmas jumpers winter jumpers now. Yeah, right. We have a fight on our hands for the future of the UK. Yeah, like, what's his face? Carnage in London. Oh, when he's doing Ramadan. Oh, yo, put the lights on. Yeah, party, party, party. And he's standing there for Christmas. The Mayor of London for Christmas. Don't know the words. Don't know the words. I don't know how to sing it. Jesus H. He's going to be gone in 26. He's not lasting. Oh, fantastic, I see you. My local farmer gave everyone in the village sacks of spuds left on their doorsteps. You see, that's proper community. So I will talk about the farmers because they're being shafted by the government. The government doesn't want us to be able to eat real food. Processed? Yes, somebody makes a profit. They don't want us to eat real food. Cinzano was a good ad, yeah. That was with Leonard Rossiter and Five Finger Kit Kat. Joan Collins. I'm not elucidating. I'm not telling you what the reference was. Quality Street removed the hazelnut one for a while due to the shortage of hazelnuts. Yeah, some of them are far too expensive. So you open them up and you get toffees. If I'd wanted toffees, I would have gone and bought toffees. I want luxury chocolates. I want to sit there and think, oh, I've got a food baby and I think I'm going to heave. Don't give me any alcohol. I just need wafer thin mint. I mean, I said to the new Mrs. Allen today, we walked past and I went, bugger me! They say after 8 mints are £3 and they're at least 3 foot long, as in the box. Size queen. And she said, no, we'll buy them closer to Christmas. I went, well, they'll not be out of date. They're in a box. Yes, but we'll get them in the shop. I'm like, right, okay. If you forget, then Christmas Day is going to be nuclear bomb time in this house. Wow, Al, my local farmer has given me 1,000 solar panels in his farm, County Durham. Local Draggers, County Durham. Mind you, I'm a County Durham boy. So it's... And the other thing I've noticed, I don't know whether you would concur, but... have you noticed how they're suddenly playing the same Christmas songs? And I know how a radio station works because I've been the head of music in numerous radio stations. So that I know, as the musical programmer of radio stations and the computers, we would give you so many Christmas songs. And every day they get more and more and more and more. Are we sheep? Are we just being guided to spend? Q4 and every year is when a lot of people make a lot of money. So are we just being kind of corralled like sheep? It's Christmas. You need to spend money you don't have and buy presents for people you don't like. Oh, Bad Wolf Project. Good steer. Bad Wolf Project. Lidl after 8 minutes and nicer and cheaper. Check them out. And Les Griffiths, man after my own heart. Raspberry Ruffles. Oi, 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 oi. Honestly, you get me talking about food. I love a good feast, especially raspberry ruffles. You can't. Do you know the other thing you can't find? Sarsaparilla tablets. Can't find them anywhere. It was a bit like tomato crisps until my local shop started stocking them, and the local shop was like, bloody hell, is that the only thing you buy? Well, it's the only place I can find bloody tomato crisps. But sarsaparilla tablets, oi. Wait till David Graham says, wait till Boxing Day when everyone starts queuing for bargains. I know. And do you know, the chocolate that they would buy on Christmas Eve that would cost them an arm and a leg, they can get at least 2/3 off on Boxing Day. 24 hours later. Albert Metcalf's going to be cooking again. Brilliant. Basically, Christmas ain't what it was. Napoleon blown apart. I concur, young sir. I have about 8 packs of 5 raspberry ruffles. Right, round to your house, Gribbo. Mind you, my doctor would be like, so, Mr. Allen, your blood sugars have gone quite high. Yeah, raspberry ruffles, doctor. What do you mean, raspberry ruffles? How many? All of them! The Bad Wolf Project. Noddy Holder and Dave Hill from Slade earn about 400 grand per year from royalties from the Christmas song. Nice. Gribbo, you tart. B&M sell raspberry ruffles, £1.35 for 5. Oi, 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 oi. Easter eggs after Christmas. Easter eggs now. PT Ham. I've seen them. I've seen the Cadbury's cream egg. Oh, they're doing another one. They're doing a what's the biscuit? They're doing kind of cream eggs with a biscuit inside. I kid you not. This is bloody beginning of December, man. But literally, we are just cash cows. They just want to put something in front of us. Our eyes are bigger than our belly. We'll look at it and go, oh, I want that. I want that. Well, I looked at that and I felt like chucking up. Biscuits in cream eggs. What the bloody hell's that for? And the other thing is, cream eggs. Before, I could get a couple of bites out of them. Now, gone. Don't even last 30 seconds. Woof, gone. I mean, I take the wrapper off. Obviously, I don't eat tin foil. People invite me over for Christmas. I always decline. They always breathe a sigh of relief. Fantastic. Why? Is it your deodorant? I see you. Or is it because they know that you'll eat everything that you eat them out of house and home, I think is the old saying. A lot of palm oil is being put into products is also ruining dairy farming. Lionel, thank you for that. Popeye Wazza, Oreo cream egg, perhaps. No, it wasn't Oreo, but I'm look, if they think it's going to sell, they'll make them just to get profit. I mean, you're talking about a cream egg used to be like 30, 40p top dollar, and then it moved to kind of 50, 60 top dollar pence, of course. And then you get to 70 and 80, and now you're lucky if your cream eggs, they're charging you 90p or a pound for a cream egg. I'd away and shite your money grabbing tarts. Comic Mania, yet everyone is saying they're skint. They're even more, they're skinter, if there's such a word. So do I. I love Old English. Oh, lovely. Asda confectionery aisle, avoid. Is that going to send me blood sugars through the roof? Or is it just got everything that your heart desires? So you'll... 40 Jaffa cakes, £3 in Asda. Oi, oi, oi. Billy Solix, man, don't tease me with Jaffa cakes. Seen that advert on YouTube, put your butts in a box. Is that a new way to stop methane from humans? Oh, Sprouts again. Oreo was a fad. Bring back good old biscuits. Can you remember old Jamaica? It was a chocolate bar that seemingly had proper rum in. And when I was a kid, it was like, oh, can we buy some old Jamaica? It's got proper rum in it. It'll get us drunk. What was I thinking? By the way, speaking of Easter, it will be on April 5th, 2026, says David Graham. Biscoff. Thank you, Louise Sampson. That's it. Biscoff cream eggs. I mean, I don't mind Biscoff biscuits because that's all they sell, I think. But Biscoff cream eggs. Maybe I need to do a taste test. If anybody's tasted them, do they taste shite or are they acceptable in a modern day home? Biscoff cream eggs. Appleton Sweets online will sell you 3 kilograms of sarsaparilla tablets for 20 quid, free delivery. At least Dick Turpin wore a mask, mind you, if I can't find sarsaparilla tablets. 3 kilograms. Can you imagine how long it would take you to get through those? Half an hour. Are Jaffas... Oh, don't start that, Ian McGee. Are Jaffa cakes a cake or a biscuit? They're not a biscuit. They're a cake because they have a sponge bottom. It's little Mr. Choc for me. Their caramel and biscuit is almost like Twix, but half the price. Nice. Jamaica Gould, Neil Cunningham. B&M's, they don't. Do they, Bad Wolf Project? You seem to be on the money with everything chocolate and sweets tonight, Bad Wolf Project. B&M sell old Jamaica. And yes, Des says there was rum and raisin. Can't still get old Jamaica dark chocolate bars. Not sure, Terry. Some people are saying you can, but I've never seen them out and about because you would imagine they'd be like everywhere, including supermarkets. Yeah, David Graham says, Metro Centre is bad on Boxing Day, especially if you're driving, so the car park there. Boxing Day, you know why they call it Boxing Day, don't you? Because they'll box your bloody lugs, ears. Soul Rebel, I can hear Terry revving up. Oh, Peter Rees-Jones, Orange Matchmakers. You can buy a bottle of rum cheaper than old Jamaica chocolate. I'm sure you can. And it has more effect. You can... Cadbury's Bourneville still makes them, do they? Oh, I say. Anyway, let's get into... I know it's kind of been light and frothy so far this evening. And I do want to do that because I've not really wanted to... I mean, we've done nearly 45 minutes on northeastern word, ket, sweets, and drunk raccoon. But you didn't come here for the drunk raccoon. You came here for depth and profundity and stuff. And congratulations to Lando Norris, the 35th ever world champion. English at 26. Nice. Lewis Hamilton going to retire now then. But Lando, just bear with me a second. What happened to David and Keith and Stephen and names, Lando, who sat there and go, should we shorten Land Rover? Well, should we take the word Rover out and put the Land Rover, Lando. Is that not good there? Yeah. Who do you know? It's called Lando. Lando, as in Orlando Bloom. Is it Orlando or just Orlando? But he's Formula One champion. Don't care. So what I wanted to talk about, or part of it, is I just wanted to give you the political system in this country is absolutely fecked. It's done. We're watching the inept trying to run the country, and we know that they can't. We know that they're out of ideas, they're out of leadership because they're not taking us with them. Only 30% of this country voted for the Labour Party. 30% voted in the last general election, and a smaller percentage of that voted for the Labour Party. 70% of this country didn't vote in the last general election. 70%. Because what they're hoping is that, and this is why I mention it virtually every live, every week, because we cannot allow these inept and the parasitical classes to make you so traumatized and weary and worn out by the political process that they don't want you to vote. They're not interested. I am going to talk about the political process in America with my America Quickies in just a little while. But on Thursday, the day George Orwell warned us about in his book 1984 just happened. And nobody noticed. So back in 1948, on exactly the same date, George Orwell delivered the final manuscript of 1984 to his publishers, a book about surveillance and manipulation and emotional control. And let me tell you, if you've not read it, it's not a comedy book, it's not funny. But the real world, me and you in 2025, took another step towards it, quietly. So on the exact same day, in the real 2025, not in fiction 2025, in the real 2025, the police announced more facial recognition cameras rolling out across the United Kingdom. You do realise no newspaper led with that story. No broadcaster shouted it. But the United Kingdom, the Great British Isles, this sceptred isle, just expanded the very thing that George Orwell told us about, the telescreen. And the whole world was busy feeling something else. It's almost poetic. Orwell writes the telescreen into existence in 1948. Nobody had thought about it. It was just after World War II. The austerity and the problems and the trauma and everything that went with World War II was still present, ever present. Thank you, Andy B. Again, thank you for your support for the channel. Always, always very grateful. So once Orwell had written the telescreen into existence in 1948, and the modern British state quietly updates the firmware in 2025, on the day after the Home Office quietly announces more cameras. Did you not notice? Oh, it's the board people. It's the board people. It's the migrants. And there was it 14? Sorry, an extra 9 or 10 cameras. And now that they've worked out that they work, oh, should we have some more? Should we have some more? So these inept Fabian socialists, they just want to control you. They don't want you to have free will and freedom to go and enjoy the countryside. They want you to do as you are told by Big Brother. So the Home Office announces more cameras, more biometrics, and a 10-week consultation on how to watch us better. And when I say us, I mean me and you. So on the day that they're doing this and this 10-week consultation, nobody has told you this. The front pages are serving up Farage again, flu, earthquakes, and a heartbroken TV chef. Oh, I'm in therapy. Right? As Bob Marley once sang, every man thinks his burden is the heaviest. And some telly chef that's got a few bob, oh, I'm in therapy. That's what they're distracting you with. Showbiz, scandal. It's all just fluff. It's Rolex, all of it. And meanwhile, the evil that's in power, more cameras, more biometrics, and a 10-week consultation on how to watch us better. So I'm going to give you an insight before I continue. When you see what is going on in the newspapers, what they're reporting and how they're reporting it, just remember this. That's how they want you to feel. This is not about reporting the news. It's fear porn. It's scandal. That's how they want you to feel. And they want you to feel it with every fiber in your body. They want you to feel rage, moral indignation, fear, sympathy. But most of all, they want you to be distracted. But nowhere on this metaphorical menu is the thing that will shape all of our tomorrows. Who's watching? What are they recording? And what can they do with your face? Baby. In Orwell's world, the telescreen watched you. In our world in 2025, it learns you. It predicts, it categorizes, it remembers, and it never blinks. But nobody wants you to worry about the camera. It might be soon scanning your face before you buy a sandwich, walk down a street, or take your child to school or your grandchild to school. And around the world, it's exactly the same pattern. America is told to fear democracy collapsing. Europe is told to brace for migration, austerity, extremism, and Germany has now got conscription. Oh, you're going to go to war. The Germans are going to go to war. Who with? The last time Germany brought conscription in, it was a bloke called Adolf that started that. Asia is told, just trust the state. Your government loves you. Go back to sleep. Trust the state. Australia is told to fear climate chaos. And South America is told to fear corruption and crime. That's the mainstream media. That's the narrative that they're giving you. That's what they want you to devour. Not old Jamaica rum. They want you to take what they're telling you and for you to emotionally react to it. That moral indignation. How very dare they? The Labour Party, the Conservative Party, Farage, anybody. If it's not how you see the world through your own filters, your moral indignation just goes off the scale. But that's what they want. I've been trying to tell you for months on here. We need to get away from that, the emotional engagement. They're trying to make you angry. If there's an old boxing adage, the man that angers you controls you. That's how they control you. And being impoverished, owning nothing and be happy. So whilst the newspapers choreograph your fear, outrage, pride and distraction, the real story, the only story that will matter in 10 years' time, is the machinery quietly tightening around your freedom. You know it's happening. Why aren't you doing something about it? If you tolerate this, your children or your grandchildren will be next. So, on this particular anniversary, we aren't just reading Orwell, we're living in the footnotes to his warning, and the only question left is this. And I'm talking to you, straight to you. Are you awake enough to notice the moment that history passes the point of no return? So Sadiq Khan and that horrid man, Starmer, there are no words in the English vocabulary that are adequate enough to describe that man. Manchurian candidate is a good epithet. Label, however you want to term it. Manchurian candidate working on behalf of another government or powerful entity outside of this country. Is it the Chinese Communist Party? Is it the WEF? Is it the UN Agenda 2030? Is it the World Health Organization? The Fabian Society? Or is it all of them? I keep telling you, and I know people laugh at me, but it comes true eventually. What have they got on him that makes him do their bidding every single time? There's a particular stillness in the world before a system tightens its grip. It doesn't shout, it whispers. It doesn't seize power, it wanders in through the back door holding a clipboard. And we know what this Labour Party is like for doing things through the back door. So while you're looking at the headlines, at the celebrities, oh, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. The scandals, the polls, the noise, the chaos, the noise. Something else is quietly adjusting the lens through which you see reality. Let me be in service of you, your family and your community. Let me give you some clarity in the chaos. Across the world today, every major newspaper is pushing you into an emotional posture. Take it from me. I've been working in the media, in this country, print media, magazines and newspapers, TV, radio. I've worked in the media, the mainstream media, since 1979. I'm old enough, even though looking at me, you can't believe that. They're wanting for you to respond emotionally because they can control you with that. Look at the New York Times. The New York Times wants you to be vigilant. Le Monde, merde, wants you to be reflective. El País wants you to be fragile. The Sydney Morning Herald wants you anxious. China's People's Daily, that's how they control the little Chinese. They want you obedient. Do as you're told. Your government loves you. Go back to sleep. The Daily Mail continually wants you angry. The Guardian wants you ashamed. Oh, that shame. Oh, yeah, right-wing thug. We're all brilliant on the left. And the Sun just wants you amused, as in the Sun newspaper. Even Ozzy wouldn't have eaten jungle grub That's how they control you. I've told you before. He would have snorted it. He wouldn't have bloody ate it. Drank it or snorted it. It's a global symphony of emotion. It's a choir where every voice is tuned to shape your internal weather. But none of them, none of these newspapers, none of the mainstream media actually sing the note that matters. Not one of them asks you to feel the thing that you need to feel the most. What is that? As I've told you many times on the Theatre of the Mind, you should be feeling that awareness that the architecture of your freedom is being rebuilt without your permission. So yesterday, while the world argued about Farage and Putin, oh, he's a bad man, Vladimir Putin, but President Putin, flu waves, earthquakes, the United Kingdom, the birthplace of Magna Carta, 1215, even though a lot of it is being discontinued. I've told you before, because I've seen it with my own eyes. There is an original copy of Magna Carta next to the throne in the King's changing room in the Houses of Parliament, the Commons. It's there for a reason. It is there for instruction to the monarch, who, in times gone by, may have got above their station. So in the United Kingdom, the birthplace of the Magna Carta, they announced more facial recognition cameras across the country. Scan the face, match the data, store the pattern, watch the streets. It's a modern telescreen, but cleverer. Not a screen you stare at, a screen that stares back at you. And the timing? I mean, even Orwell would have raised an eyebrow. On the anniversary of him delivering the manuscript for 1984, they announced that they are increasing more facial recognition cameras. Somebody somewhere's having a joke at our expense because they think that we're not intelligent enough to know that. I'm not suggesting I am, but I was very well aware of that particular game on Thursday. You cheeky tarts. On the day that, the very anniversary that Orwell delivered his manuscript, the British state quietly updates the living version of his warning. His warning. This is not dystopia with jackboots and sirens. This is how they get away with it, because it's the polite version. The democratic version is what they'll tell you. The version rolled out without consultations, guidelines and press releases, written in soothing pastel colours. Algorithmic fairness. Enhanced public safety. Have you heard that one? Data protection protocols. Do you not realise it's all the language of reassurance? It's the language of anaesthetic. And the world's newspapers? They help the process by filling your emotional bandwidth with everything except one thing that will matter most in the years to come. If you tolerate this, your children or grandchildren will be next. Once we get into this dystopian view that Orwell wrote about and told us about, there's no going back. None. You see, the most powerful form of control is not the telescreen itself. It's the shaping of your emotions so completely that you never turn your head to look at the wall where the telescreen is being installed. Let me tell you this. This is not a conspiracy. This is an ecosystem. Fear here, outrage there, distraction in the corner, hope in the margins, entertainment across the bottom third. It's a carousel of feelings designed to ensure that by the time the cameras are everywhere, and remember in the 70s, they were bringing in CCTV on every street corner for your safety, exactly the same script. We're bringing in CCTV, and then the people who are operating the CCTV cameras say, oh, they're not working. But you can bet your sweet bippy, if it's in their favour, facial recognition will work every day, 24/7, 52 weeks of the year. It never sleeps. And this carousel of feelings, it's designed to ensure that by the time the cameras are everywhere, you and me, we will be too emotionally tired to resist. That's the game. Now, George Orwell once wrote that the purpose of propaganda was not to convince you of a lie, it was to exhaust your ability to question. And in that exhaustion, the telescreen, facial recognition, becomes normal, expected, invisible. So here is the truth, hidden beneath today's global emotional script. The world wants you to feel everything except aware, everything except free, everything except awake. But you, right now, because you chose to come to this channel this evening and listen to what I had to say as the Reverend and his sermon, you, I believe, are awake. And once awake, you can't unsee the machine. Not the cameras, not the data pipelines, not the soft, smiling, bureaucratic language that sells surveillance as a convenience. Not the newspapers that distract you from the real story of the century. We're in 2025. This is such a massive story. They can't have you know and realize and be awake sufficiently to stop them from doing what they're doing. Not even the newspapers that distract you from the real story of the century. Everyone, everywhere, is being nudged into anxiety, anger, distraction, pride, tribalism, but not into questioning what modern surveillance truly means. So the week of the anniversary, and on this day today, when fiction meets its own reflection, let me offer you this. Orwell didn't write 1984 as a prophecy. He wrote it as a warning. And warnings are only useful when somebody actually hears them. Today, tonight, you're one of the very few who heard it. Almost no major global newspaper today is asking you to feel anything about biometric surveillance, digital IDs, AI policing, or state visibility into private life. And yet, China is expanding its AI governance and social scoring frameworks. Europe is refining digital identity systems and wanting Germany to lead the charge against Russia. The US debates predictive policing and biometric databases, and the UK just announced expanded facial recognition on the anniversary of Orwell's 1984 manuscript submission. So let me break this down for you. Across the whole world, how do they do it? Across the whole planet. Different languages, different tribes, different peoples. But everyone is encouraged to feel fear about the weather, war, crime. I'll repeat that to you. Everyone is encouraged to feel fear about weather, war, and crime. You pick up your newspapers tomorrow, you look at the news cycle, you listen to what the radio stations are pumping out, you watch the TV news, and they just want you in this narrow bandwidth. They just want you to feel fear about the weather, net zero, war, Ukraine, Gaza, and crime. The stabbings in London. You're encouraged to feel anger at political opponents. Oh, bloody hell, Kemi not good enough. Oh, bloody hell, Starmer. Oh, bloody hell, Farage. And you're also encouraged to feel sorrow for human interest victims. Front of the Sun today. Jack Osborne. I'm sure a lot of people felt sorry for the guy because he lost his dad. But I ask you this. How many people do you know that would lose your dad and a couple of weeks later you're on national TV. I wouldn't. People I know as a child, the place I come from, wouldn't have done that. And here's the kicker. You're also encouraged to feel anxiety about your finances, but not about the tools that will shape your freedom for the next 100 years. Let me tell you this. The creeping telescreen that Orwell wrote about isn't coming. It's here. And it's switched on. And like all great power, it hopes you're too busy feeling something else to notice. I hope that's made some sense for you. That's all. In service of you, your family and your community, whether it's an extended family, whether it's just you on your own. That's why I talked about Christmas leading up to that. Very quickly, Ginger Growler, she's coming back to the cabinet. So we've got the Union. Let me go to some of the comments first, I think. Thank you, Pop-Eyed Wazza. You're welcome, Stuart. Comic Mania. Has Growler paid her tax bill yet? Not sure. She can't come back to the cabinet without. So somebody, maybe a union, an unnamed union or benefactor, will just quietly pay it. She can come back and go, well, it was... sorry, I'm in my head, I'm still with Orwell. She can say, well, I was given bad advice. So, and yes, I paid it. Everything's done. But then people start asking the questions. So who paid it then? But she wants to get back in the cabinet. I've told you repeatedly. Ginger Growler, they want her to be the first Labour Prime Minister. She's no Margaret Thatcher. But they want her. So Wes Streeting? He's going to be, what do they call it, stalking horse? They want Starmer gone. They want him gone. It's too late now because they're going to break for, obviously, their 6-month break for Christmas. Jean Psychic says, Liz Cross, psychic remote viewer, says she and Starmer having an affair. No, had. Past tense, Jean. What about this new act that came in called FEAR, Fear, Lionel? My theme tune on LBC when I was presenting it was in What's His Face from the Stone Roses. What a great song. You've Got the Fear. It's a fabulous song. And I agree with Terry, Jean. Hopefully you've seen Terry's comment. The whole cabinet makes me feel sick. Says Comic Mania. I can't listen to them. I can't look at them. They're evil. Correct. So I'm going to make this prediction for you. There's going to be no such thing as left-wing and right-wing politics, because we've seen what the left has done to this country, the billions wasted on net zero, possibly going to war. And remember, Starmer said they were going to bring in conscription in this country. Your children, remember, I told the teenagers 3 years ago, there's your uniform, there's your gun, right, you're going to the front line, 6 weeks basic training into the meat grinder in Ukraine. And nobody took any notice. And now that Germany's got the reality of conscription, the kids in Germany are like, whoa, last bloke that did that was bloody Hitler, man. And Germany's gone, we don't care. Ursula von der Leyen, bitch. Who elected her? No one. So rebel. Ian Brown. Do you notice when I was presenting that Orwell and I was concentrating, I didn't cough once? So Gribbo, Starmer, War PM. Imagine. I hate to think what's going to happen to our kids. We allowed them to the jibber jabber. So, buckle up, Buttercup. I'm going to race you through some quickies in America, and I'm going to give you some background into what's going on, because this is better than anything that's being produced by Hollywood. Anything, honestly, I swear. So, let's have a look at Trump in the USA. It's being mentioned that a subpoena for Obama to testify before Congress is imminent. Keep your eyes open. I will keep you aware on these lives, and the next live is tomorrow night, Monday night, 7:30 again, parish notes at 7:15. Now, if Obama fails to comply, it will lead to an arrest warrant being issued. And if he lies under oath, this is Barack Obama, former president of the United States, 2 terms, and, he used auto pen, so they say, so the rumour, as did Big Mike. Oi, 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 Big Mike, what the fuck are they using the auto pen? Joe Biden's aware with the fairies, has been for years. So, if Obama lies under oath, his presidential immunity from prosecution is void, as is that of Bill Clinton, who is currently fighting his order to testify. So the bloody left, that's why they didn't want Trump in power, because all the chickens are coming home to roost. Barack Obama saying he's not going to testify before Congress. All right, then we'll just issue an arrest warrant. And Bill Clinton in a dress in Epstein's house. Oil canvas. He's fighting his own order to testify. I've told you, buckle up, Buttercup, grab your popcorn. This 2026, oi, 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 they'll have these 2 before Congress. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. No, Bill, but you spunked all over her dress. How does that work then? It's all right. There's no adverts on this. And forgive my language, but it's the language of straight talking. No, about straight talking. So it looks like all the main players, from presidents to senators to Congress members, the fake news propagandists, are in the firing line. I mean, it's fantastic. All of them. And I think I may get to this, but I'll kind of do it on the fly while I'm talking. So they've worked out that, and Trump said this a few weeks ago, and I bet you thought, oh, all right then, why is he saying that? Trump said a few weeks ago, anyone convicted of treason will face the death penalty. And then Obama's facing Congress, and Clinton's facing Congress. And if they refuse, it's treasonous. So, I used that sentence and that description on purpose. All of the main players, from presidents to senators to Congress members, fake news propagandists, are all in the firing line. You see, you missed it first time round. So I suspect that with the midterm elections about 11 months away, we will see arrests probably in the early months of 2026. And in 2026, America is going to be celebrating its 250th anniversary of becoming America. And they told the king to off 250 years ago, we're not paying your taxes, how do we end shite, man? Obviously, they were from North America. And another tip that I found earlier about Venezuela. Now, please, if you're new to the theatre of the mind, I've given you repeatedly an insight into geopolitics, into a very simple take on what is happening. And I told you there were 7 countries that the Rothschilds wanted control of their central banks. One of them was Syria, one of them was Iraq. They've both gone. The money is in rebuilding Syria, rebuilding Iraq, and taking control of all the oil. The money is also in rebuilding Gaza. But I warned you to keep an eye on Venezuela. And I'm sure you will have responded to me going, what? What are you talking about? Bloody Venezuela. Don't even know where that is. You do now. And I will bet you a pound or penny bet they're going to take control of Venezuela. The current junta that's in control, or the current political class that's in control in Venezuela, because they have, I think it's the biggest oil reserves in the world. They don't want the oil. They don't want to go in and have regime change. They're after the central bank. And then all they've got to do, China's shagged, Russia's almost shagged, North Korea, it's just a funny little bloke as an actor. And Hungary in Iran. So I'll also make a prediction for you for 2026. Iran's going to have regime change. There's already people in there waiting to step into the shoes. And the Ayatollah is not going to be around. Don't know whether he's going to leave or something unfortunate's going to happen. But from the 7, you would have gone Syria, Iraq, gone. Venezuela, Iran, gone. What's left? Hungary, China, Russia, and North Korea. 4 of them out of all of the central banks on planet Earth. And they never thought they were going to get this far. They can't believe their luck. So as I was about to say, the other tidbit that I found earlier about Venezuela is the CIA and a couple of foreign governments have a sophisticated setup in Venezuela, monitoring and interfering in elections in most Western countries. Remember when Trump lost the presidential race? I mean, they can't fix elections in this country, surely not. But I told you when I went to vote, because it is my right to be able to vote, I gave them the slip that came through the door. They then looked at it, beeped it off, then gave me something else that they also scanned, and then I went away to make my vote. They know exactly how I voted and who for. That's not voting. That's not democracy. That's about control. And they'll roll that out. So one of the players is alleged to be the brother of a guy called Mark Kelly. He's a kind of traitor Democrat senator and an ex-Navy captain pushing the troops into mutiny. The brother received money from the United States Agency for International Development. You know that I've been telling you about this for months. And the reason why I went on and on and on and on about it is because they were funneling billions of dollars and washing it through the United States Agency for International Development. But the brother received the money from USAID for nefarious purposes aimed at fomenting unrest. Events occurring now mirror the penultimate posts on the Q board, which a lot of people around the world have been watching, posting in 2017 how 8 years ago they could predict what's going on now. But these posts on the Q board, which means the game is nearing its end game. So on December the 5th, a couple of days ago, Trump appointed a judge, Rodney Smith, and said that laws Congress passed and Trump signed overrides the background grand jury secrecy regarding Epstein and Maxwell documents. So this fight isn't because the left want to expose Trump. It's actually the other way around. And look at the reportage in the news organizations, in the newspapers are going, Trump, 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 Trump. Of course they are, because it makes you distracted and you don't get the real game. So what they're doing in America and what Trump is doing in America, this with the Congress and the judges means, and it enables full disclosure, which is rumored to be very soon, beginning of the year. Now, Hillary Rodham Clinton and young William Clinton disappeared last year when they thought that the Epstein files were coming out. They buggered off down to Mexico because they thought, well, nobody can arrest us in Mexico. No, they didn't. And then they were laughing, oh, Trump, 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 he's hiding stuff, because we all know He's not now. He's had enough of their bullshit. All coming out. 2026. What a massive year for America. So there'll be no more delays or crooked judge interference. Buckle up, Buttercup. It's going to get bumpy. And it's just been announced that top US scholarly association has banned Larry Summers for life. Oh, Adrian, do tell. What is that about? He's been banned from attending or speaking at all related events. The American Economic Association, the AEA, has accepted Lawrence H. Summers' voluntary resignation from membership. And pursuant to the AEA's policies, procedures, and code of professional conduct, has imposed a lifetime ban on his membership. Have you worked it out yet? You're going to know in 10 seconds. In addition, effective immediately, the AEA has imposed a lifetime ban on Mr. Summers attending, speaking at, or otherwise participating in AEA-sponsored events or activities, including serving in any editorial or refereeing capacity for AEA journals. Listen to me. Listen very carefully to what I'm now going to tell you. That may not have made any sense whatsoever, but this short sentence will. It seems Epstein's clients are no longer protected. In academic circles, this is huge, and you are not reading about this anywhere. Anywhere. Buckle up, Buttercup. It's about to get bumpy. Grab your popcorn. 2026 for America is going to be a huge year. 250th anniversary. And all those snakes in the grass are going to be exposed. Diddy got away with it. You would think that Diddy and his shag piece, J-Lo, well, she would have known what was going on. She was at the freak-offs. But she's not being touched. Jay-Z and Beyonce. Oh, the rumours, darling, the rumours. They were all at it. So, I think that's enough for you tonight. Except, do you know the name Nancy Pelosi? I'm going to tell you why she's standing down. Because you know she was like, she went in there, she's just on a senator's wage or a speaker's wage, and it's about £180,000 a year, and she's now got personal wealth of $200 million. And Nancy Pelosi was one of those politicians in America that was pointing the finger at Trump saying, yada, 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 it's all Donald Trump, it's all his fault. Well, now we know why she's standing down, why she's not going to stand for re-election. Listen carefully. My anonymous emailer has seen a report that the call logs from a guy called Brian Cole, that's the January 6th pipe bomber, that Nancy Pelosi said that Trump was seditious and was stoking an uprising against the state. These call logs reveal the pipe bomber was in contact with the office of Speaker Nancy Pelosi multiple times on the morning of January 6th, just minutes before and minutes after he allegedly planted the bombs outside the DNC and the RNC headquarters. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Nancy Pelosi, why would he be calling Nancy Pelosi's office multiple times on the morning of January 6th, minutes before and minutes after? It is now known that he was not a Trump supporter or part of MAGA. He is a radical left Trump hater and Antifa anarchist. It's all coming out now. January 6th was an inside job set up by the deep state and the Democrat Party. So calls for the arrest of Nancy Pelosi are beginning to grow. Buckle up, Buttercup. It's going to get bumpy. Grab your popcorn. 2026, what a year. What a year. And so, congregation of the body of the Kirk, we reach that strange point in the calendar where the world tells us to be joyful on command, where loneliness wears tinsel, where debt is dressed as generosity, where families gather not because they're healed, but because the date insists. Somewhere right now, a house is full of laughter as we get closer to December 25th. Somewhere else, a television is talking to an empty chair. Somewhere, someone is opening a gift with genuine wonder. And somewhere else, someone is opening a letter they were hoping wouldn't arrive until January. Christmas doesn't sort us into naughty and nice. It sorts us into the pretending and the honest. And here we are, in the body of the Kirk, not pretending. Not polished, not packaged, just a strange little congregation in a digital cathedral, the body of the Kirk, from the pulpit of truth, trying to make sense of a world that keeps wrapping chaos in shiny paper. And if you feel sated or full tonight, that makes me happy. If you feel hollow, well, you're not alone. And if you're able to feel both at once, congratulations. You're human in December. So please go gently with each other. Go gently with yourselves. And if the world gets too loud or too chaotic, I will bring clarity to the body of the Kirk. And we will rejoin and rejoice in the body of the Kirk, Monday night, 7:30. My name's Adrian Allen. Thank you for your likes, your subscriptions, but most of all, your indulgence. Look after yourself, be safe, be well. It's an odd time of year. Don't forget your emergency Battenberg and the altar wine. I'll let you take some home if you're nice to me. My name's Adrian Allen, the Theatre of the Mind, Body of the Kirk. It's not a show, it's a mission. And the mission is to make clarity out of the chaos. See you Monday night. 7:15 for the parish notes, 7:30 for the Theatre of the Mind. Live 269. Hope you've enjoyed tonight. Speak to you tomorrow.